Hi everybody, how are you doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. And tonight I want to talk about, hopefully for the last time, the riots in Washington. And only to prove some points and to bring some more evidence to you guys on what is going on in our government, who's involved and who's doing what, and who thought was going to be doing what, and who didn't do what they thought they were going to do. Hope you kept up with all that, but it'll make sense in a minute. It's like I said in my last videos that each time I said it, it seemed to come true. And I said that Trump's people that he used to do the riots were going to expect him to save them. And then it came out in my next video after that he did not, and they were all upset and brokenhearted, boo-hoo. And don't get me wrong, they all deserve what's coming to them. The sad point is that again, the people in higher positions who are supposed to be trusted will not pay any price or very minimal, which again is not America and it's not our justice system. This is not how it works. You don't get favoritism. You don't get to walk away from crimes because of who you are, who you know, or what you do. And I don't care how many votes tell you this and that and the other. If you commit a crime, you have to pay the price. And sadly, some people will and some people won't until we do something with this government. And everybody knows my feelings. And don't get me wrong, because I've said it before in my videos, there are good people and people who want to be politicians, and even some good politicians. They're never going to shine through. They're never going to get to where they need to be to make a difference, because they're never going to be allowed to by the corrupt ones. There's never going to be a difference made, because if we don't take a stand with some of the people who want good in our country, it will never happen, because there's so much corruption in our government that they block anybody that wants to do good from getting in. And if you don't see that by a lot that's especially coming out within the last couple years, especially this year, then you either don't want to see it or you don't care. And that's a problem too, because this is our America and where our families are and where our generations are going to grow into. And if changes aren't made now, I have to tell you that it's going to be a very sad day for generations to come. And what you're leaving your family in this mess, it'll be a horrible thing to do. Now, not only did I tell you he wasn't going to save them, but here's some more that are going to be crying about it, and they expected it. And there's again, I don't know if I said it already, a video I'm going to play of them begging for him to save them. And not only that, basically saying they did this because he called on them to. And yet, he may walk with nothing at all. And again, that was all part of the plan. And these people are going to walk away with time in federal prison. And again, don't get me wrong, they deserve it. But so does everybody else involved. From the president on down, anybody who was involved has to pay a price, or nobody should pay a price. And that's where the justice system is wrong in our government today, and eventually it's going to bite them in the butt. Because people are going to get tired of watching people of government get away with crimes, and other people being arrested and set up and going to jail for not committing crimes and being innocent and being set up. And then people who are criminals, street criminals, they're going to get tired of having to do time and other people getting away with it. And again, you're going to wake another sleeping giant just in another way. You can't have something for one and not the other. You can't say, we committed the same crime, but this person's not going to pay and this person is going to pay. And again, we citizens, we can't trust a criminal government because it's worse than the criminals on the street. At least you know that street criminals are who they are. And I'm not saying they're all bad, because there's some good people who just get tied up in wrong situations. This is just for this specific point. Those criminals you know are criminals. The government are supposed to be people we entrust with our lives, our safety, our way of living. And they've been proving it forever that they don't care. And they're not looking out for our best interest. And now they're above the law. The law they're supposed to enforce. Just like the police officers who plant drugs on people, do drugs, commit crimes, drink and drive, speed down the road even when not on a call, run stop signs, whatever the case may be. And these are the people who are supposed to be enforcing the law. But the law doesn't matter to them, but it matters when it comes to us. How can you enforce something you have no respect for and don't do anyways? And don't follow? This is a serious situation that needs to be fixed. And either you need to unite and stand with some good people and some good politicians and make a change in this world, or we need to just get rid of government because it's not doing anybody any good. The only people it's doing good for are the people in politics that are saving their own people and taking care of their own people. And for us, like I said, it keeps getting worse as it gets better for them. And we are paying them a salary that they set for themselves and for each other that is grand. And sometimes I think a little too grand. No, all the time I do. I take that back. To be corrupt and do the wrong thing for us. The wrong things for us. Come on, people, wake up. And the only people who aren't seeing it throughout the years, and especially this year, are the people who don't want to. Because it has been coming out for years, and now more than ever. There's a serious problem here. And it needs to be fixed. So I'm going to get into this because I don't want to be rambling on all night. That's what I'll end up doing, because stuff really bothers me, and it should you. Okay. Proud Boys leader was a government informant. The records show. The leader of the Proud Boys, who was arrested in Washington shortly before the Capitol riots, which he was going to, but he got stopped for something else before he made it there. Thank God. Listen on. Okay, previously worked undercover and cooperated with investigators after he was accused of fraud in 2012. Court documents show. Henry Theriault helped law enforcement in a variety of investigations nearly a decade ago by providing information and going undercover, the records show. The Proud Boys is a far-right male chauvinist extremist group that seized on the Trump administration policies and was a major agitator during early protests and the Capitol riots on January 6th. The Proud Boys have railed against a deep state and work to break down the current government system And so the revelations of Terrio was a federal informant came as quite a surprise. The details of Terrio's cooperation, which was first reported Wednesday, lost my place, by Rioters, were found in a transcript of a 2014 hearing in federal court in Florida regarding his sentence for participating in a scheme involving the resale of diabetic test strips. The prosecutor and Ontario's defense attorney both cited Terrio's extensive cooperation in arguing that his sentence of 30 months should be cut. The judge agreed to reduce the sentence to 16 months, the record shows. Your Honor, frankly, in all the years, which is now more than 30 that I've been doing this, I've never had a client as prolific in terms of cooperating in any respects. And Terrio's lawyer at the time, Jeffrey Feeler, according to the transcripts, an email seeking comment was not immediately returned from a lawyer representing Terrio in his current case. In an interview that Rioters, Terrio denied ever cooperating with authorities. After Terrio's 2012 indictment, he helped the government prosecute more than a dozen other people, the federal prosecutors told judge. According to the transcripts, Terrio's lawyer said he was the first defendant to cooperate in the case and was also involved in a variety of police undercover operations involving things like antibiotic steroids and prescription narcotics. From day one, he was the one who wanted to talk to law enforcement, wanted to clear his name, wanted to straighten out his life, and so that he can move on. And he was, in fact, cooperated in a significant way, the prosecutor said, according to the transcripts. Terrio was arrested in Washington on January 4th, 2 days before the pro-Trump mob stormed the Capitol in a bid to overturn President Joe Biden's victory. He was accused in vandalizing a Black Lives Matter banner at a historical black church during an earlier protest in the nation's capital. The banner was ripped from Asbury United Methodist Church property, torn and set aflame in December. Terrio was seen with the sign in video of the incident posted on YouTube, according to a police report. When police pulled Terrio over, officers found 2 loaded magazines emblemed with the Proud Boys logo in his bag that had a captivity of 30 rounds each. Authorities said involved. The people who have been helped, the people who have been involved with other police and government activities, and also in a criminal aspect. And these are the people who think they need to be pardoned, along with some other people who may not have been so criminally involved that we can see or that we know of. Who knows? They may and they may not be. But again, this is one who's been working with the government for quite some time and trades it to get out of trouble when needed. And that's another thing I have a problem with. You know, all these deals that are made to either help people get out of trouble or continue to cause trouble and they just give up a little bit of information on somebody else or put somebody else in jail, and they get to go back out there and commit more crimes. This is not, again, okay. Not only that, we had the Cowboys for Trump founder who vowed, let me look here, because I already have this here. I think it was, who vowed to return with guns to the Capitol, for the inauguration. We can see what's going on with this government. Come on. I don't know how much more people got to point out to you. A judge's husband, Judge Eaton apologizes for her husband who dressed up as QAnon shaman. And then we also had a Houston police officer charged in the Capitol riot after the FBI agents find deleted selfies on a phone. There are so many that were involved in this riot that were all involved in government agencies and government jobs. And I'm not going to keep reading because, again, you can look it up for yourself. And so many have already been exposed, from the president himself to governors to senators to police officers to God knows, and probably some that you'll never even know that was there. And my biggest problem, again, is that the ones that are in government will walk away with either a slap on the wrist or nothing. And these rioters that chose to follow will turn around and get the heavy sentences. No, it shouldn't be that way. Either you have to charge everybody involved. You can't, again, pick and choose who you want to punish. That's not the way it works. Again, if we don't stand up and start making changes, what kind of life do you think we will have in just a couple years? Because they have all the rights, we have no rights, and we will go to jail in a heartbeat for the smallest thing and get charged heavily with a lot of time, which I feel is another way they'll use to enslave us. And they have a free pass as long as you're a government employee, have the connections, where we're giving you the money, we're giving you the power, we're giving you the platforms, we're giving you the right to do this to us. Wake up, people. Because people like me who don't want to give them that right, we deserve not to have to give them that right. And people who think like me need to join together and find another way, because if not, again, we're looking at a very sad and dark future. Not just for ourselves, but for our children, for our next generation, and generation after that, and after that. Where do you think we're going to end up if everything keeps being ran the way it's being ran and it keeps going the way it goes? Do you think that we'll be fine? If you do, there's something wrong. It's time to unite and stand up for what is right in this world, or before we don't have one. And I could say I've seen some really good things in Biden. Again, I don't trust any politician, so don't start on me about being a Trump person or a Biden person, because I don't care. But there's a lot of things that I don't like about Biden. And I really don't think he's trustworthy. Let's watch and see. But you also got to remember, as the time is ticking, we are running out of time to make sure that the right things are going to happen. But things need to start changing, whether it's small right now and we work into bigger things, or we wait and go big at some time, but eventually we need to unite and make a stand. And I'm not talking about violence and doing stupid things. I'm talking about us as citizens. We do have power. And they want to put in your head that you don't. You're small people. You're nobody. We got control. No. You better go back in history and you better look and you better do your research, because we are the people. And without us, they couldn't be where they are. And that's what you need to remind yourself. And that's what you need to start thinking about. And where you want your family to be in several years. And you'll see everything you need to see from my past videos to now on the money, the control. You see the puppet play power. That's what we're talking about here today. You just got to see it on a grand stage this time. It's got to stop. And I'm not doing this for any other reason but fear for you citizens and for my family. And if you agree, you need to join. And we need to discuss things and we need to figure out the next step. Because I'm sure there are good politicians out there who want to do good. But they need the backing to get where they need to be. Because there's going to be a lot of corruption standing in the way. And then again, in my next videos, hopefully my next video, and maybe in the next couple of videos, because I'm so far behind from my little time off, like I said, that we're going to look into some cases that are purely corrupted by the government and government people. And we're also going to look into some corruption, major corruption in the police that I've been holding on to for a very long time. And I'm sure, again, you can Google it and look it up yourself, but I know a lot of people don't. So I'm hoping you'll jump on here and pay attention and start learning what is really going on out there if you don't know and if you don't see. Come to my channel and I'll wake you up. Because it's time we wake up, open a big, I don't even know what word to use, but open up a big awakening, I guess, is the best way to say it, of people's minds on what is going on today and what needs to be fixed and what needs to happen. I hate because you can see half my face, and as it gets darker, you start losing me into the shadows. So I'm going to make this a little bit short tonight, and I really didn't want to make too long of a video because we've talked about this. I just wanted to show more proof into it as I'm preparing my other videos. But it's time to wake up. You had, again, judges, husbands, cops, crooked people in the criminal organizations to higher up people in government positions, all involved in this. And the police officers that were there, the police officers that opened the doors, the police officers who steered them to where they needed to go. There was so much corruption going on in that day. And that should have been the eye-opening moment for people. All the other stuff that we see throughout the year going on, and we point out this person and this person and this person, we had most of them all joined at the Capitol in one place for the world to see. On every platform, newspaper, and even with the media trying to twist and turn it and make it seem like all a bunch of criminals, it was all right there in front of you. Now what you need to do is make sure they all pay. And they all pay dearly. All. Not some. All. From the top to the bottom, they all need to pay. Because let me tell you tonight, you speed down the road, you're going to get a ticket. You get caught doing anything that they think they can, give you a charge for, you're going to jail. And these are the people over there busting through the Capitol doors. Wake up, people. And if you think that's all the corruption that they're involved in, again, you just don't want to see. There is so much. So much. And the news tells you what they want you to hear. The news tells you what they're allowed to tell you. You will not see an honest news report on any TV nowadays, ever. You know, back when I was a kid, they used to have an investigation. I think on Channel 25 or 29 News, where they would send reporters out to, any place they thought there was corruption going on, and they would set them up on a little, sting to find out if they were going to do the right thing or do the wrong thing. And then they would report it. If there was corruption, and even with a governor or doctor or this or that, they would go after them. You will never see a news report like that today. Never. Doesn't that tell you something? And if the news isn't being honest with you, what is the freaking point in watching it? Unless you're watching it for entertainment only, and there is nothing entertaining about it. The only place you're going to get real, live honesty is from these platforms. And wait, they're going to try to shut them down. They already do. Look at what YouTube's doing. If they don't like what they say, they take your video down. It's not right. It's not fair. We should have the right to free speech. And we should have the right to our opinions. And I'm tired of people trying to step on our rights. Everybody wants to make a rule in their business where you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't this, that involve our rights. And I enjoy being on here and being able to talk to people and hopefully wake a few up. And I hope I do touch people. But if they silence us, there goes our First Amendment. And then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. Until we have no rights and we have nothing. It's time to wake up. And it's time to take a stand. And if you believe that, then you need to join my channel. And let's talk about it. Let's figure out what we can do and what we need to do and build a channel that we can reach everywhere and start talking about how to make a difference in this world. So join. Pass on the information. And let's see where we can take this. Because the only way we're going to be able to do it is by joining and uniting from everywhere. And making connections everywhere. And then it's time to stand up and tell the government that we need to either get it right or fire them. That's who they work for, is us. They should have no more control over the people. Unless, if you're doing something bad and you're breaking the law, I agree with that. But as far as everyday life, they should have no more control over us as we do them. And they prove it every day that we have no control over them and they continue to do whatever they want. But you step out of line and see how much control they take from you. They will take your rights, your freedom, and they will lock you in a cell. And all I'm asking you for is fairness. And that they do what they're supposed to do. Or again, what do we have them in effect for? All right, guys, that's enough to think about. And again, I hope I don't get in trouble for free speech. But, a lot needs to be changed. Because it's just, this is not freedom. This is not America. All right, guys. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Love them like there may not be a tomorrow, because you never know if there will be. For any of us. So y'all have a great night. God bless y'all. And take care of one another. And please subscribe or send people my way, and let's start building this channel.
It was a very strange experience to be arrested by the FBI. They're very professional, and it was a very strange feeling. I felt like I was doing my patriotic duties. So me personally, I do not feel a sense of shame or guilt from my heart from what I was doing. I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do, flying there. He asked us to fly there. He asked us to be there. So I was doing what he asked us to do. So as far as in my heart of hearts, do I feel like a criminal? No. Do I feel guilty? No. But I do feel a little wronged in this situation, because I'm like, okay, I'm a real estate agent, and this has taken my company. It's taken my business. I'm getting slandered all over the internet, all over the world, and all the news. I would like a pardon from the President of the United States. I think that we all deserve a pardon. I'm facing prison sentence. I think that I do not deserve that, and I think every person, from what I understand, everyone's going to be arrested that was there. So I think everyone deserves a pardon, and I would ask the President of the United States to give me a pardon.
I have to say, in my opinion, I believe this lady is absolutely delusional. And anyone who believes in what she is saying in this video, you guys chose to be the puppets in somebody else's agenda. You chose to do what you did. You knew there was going to be consequences. And you're even more delusional to believe that you would ever get a pardon or be saved by Trump. Trump doesn't do anything for him that he doesn't believe can then turn around and help him out in some way. And you are not on his level to even consider being saved by him. And then again, it would hurt his agenda to save all of you. So you should have knew better. And good luck with your charges and what you're going to face now.